Why not? Why the fuck not? I don't want to stop. Didn't say that. YouTube. Okay. It's like I'm still focusing on the TikTok one. So I can only focus on one at the time. Do you have a tablet? I do. I do. So I could go live on my tablet and then go live on Instagram on here too. I could do a whole thing. I could go on Twitch as well. I could really I could really get a setup, honestly. Honestly, I really could do that. I don't know why I haven't thought of that before. That's why I need you guys for all these ideas. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to hook up my Sony to my laptop so that I can stream on Twitch nicely, you know? Ugh. Hi, why are you putting on makeup? You look beautiful before the makeup. Because I want to put on makeup. You know I used to do that, right? I know, Adam. It's just that I'm not lazy. Just... Because she likes the makeup, Joshua. In all caps, Joshua. Did Marvel call you yet? I wouldn't tell you guys even if they did. But no. Just sitting here waiting. One day. Have you heard the new Silk Sonic album yet? It's butter. I don't doubt it. And it's on my list of things to do today. Trust me. Oh, you know what? I haven't done a red lip this week, and I don't have any. I always do a nude lip if I'm gonna be like super active during the day, like if I'm gonna go running or something. But it's raining today, and so I'm probably gonna go on the elliptical. Who's your dream character to play? Because I think you'd make the best Jessica Drew. I wanted America Chavez so bad. But America Chavez is already cast. And, no hate to the person that is cast. It's just that America Chavez is canonically Afro-Latina, and I don't believe that the person that is cast is Afro-Latina. And just, I don't know. But it's okay. YouTube people, why do I see it so blurry? Because y'all are on my shitty phone that I got to replace the phone that got stolen, and then it was not working out well for me, and then I had to go back to the fucking Pixel because this phone was so bad. Taking pictures, it's great, but video, so awful, and it does not work well with TikTok for some reason, like, at all. When I tell you that I went into a full mental breakdown over that shit, it is not an exaggeration, because this is my shit. This is what I do. So, I was like, ooh, I lost my fucking mind. My mind. Some old Wheezy. Woo. It's like some high school shit. Oh my gosh, last night's dance class, we did Wipe Me Down by Lil Boozy, and I was like, is that the Stunna Lip Paint? Ooh. Yeah, we did Wipe Me Down last night, and I was like, ah! Fuck yeah, Wipe Me Down is a classic. It's such a classic. I was so excited. Yeah, our instructor Matt, he's from LA, and he's like, oh my god, like such a good instructor. Like he's so much swag. His all of his fucking choreography is so fucking good. Like so fucking good. So yeah, my Instagram this morning, it was so fun. I felt like I was back at homecoming. Shit. I overlined my lips a little too much, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a Kylie Jenner lip today. Oops. It happens. I'm just playing in the sand. Wake up and smell the. And I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Dab. I've done like a few. I recorded like one song that's just like a complete freestyle rap singing song that I can't wait for you guys to hear. And I did it, and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how much of a Wheezy influence I have on my style until I played this song back, and I was just like, yeah, I listened to a lot of Lil Wayne in high school. A lot. Duffel Bag Boy was my shit. Lil Wayne and Eminem, wouldn't you know it? I rapped for my producer the first time ever, and she was like, you sound like a female Eminem, and I was like, I guess I'll take it. Because I was like, because she's like, can you rap? And I'm like, I am not a rapper, but I can. I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little hesitant about calling myself that. But then I did, and she's like, you can rap. You're rapping now. And I'm like, okay, fine, I guess. Young money, motherfucker. If you ain't running with it, run from it, motherfucker. All right. Cause I shoot first. Sorry about the people on the YouTube live. I'm using my shitty phone camera. So sorry you guys got the shit under the stick. But I will not log on to TikTok on this fucking phone. I won't fucking do it. You know, before we became an effing weirdo. I remember my first music concert, you know, before we became effing weird. Oh my gosh. You ain't telling no lies. I switched from YouTube to TikTok. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know what's going on. What is this? This is the A21. This is the A21 phone or whatever the fuck. It pissed me off. And they sold it to me too. They were like, this is the best camera, this is the best whatever. Plus sized queen. I'm not plus size. Are you serious? I'm not plus size. I don't know if that's a joke or not. What did he say? Plus size comment was clearly a troll. Ignore it. I think there's a bunch of them like. There's like a bunch of these things going on where they're like, oh, where did you get Where did you get your where did you get your weave from, or and this was like before I had my locks in or whatever. So people record these lives now for content. I don't doubt it. You're not plus size. Plus size is beautiful, but you're not plus. Exactly. I'm like, not knocking plus size women, but I'm definitely not plus size. I can tell you that much. I've been there. I've been on the light side of plus size, and I'm not. And I'm not plus size. Also, I'm like, oh, actually, yes.
No, I'm just coming in. Need to get my shoes because I got a new car.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it is that time.
It's rainy days.
Actually, on America's Next Top Model, I would be a plus size model. So, according to Tyra Banks standards, yeah, maybe I am plus size. That
I still
problem.
think that show's still going. Like,
It's not going. It's canceled.
no, there's another America's Next Top Model, but it's a mixture of both guys and girls.
What?
Yeah, I think that's what I saw.
Are you sure?
I'm like pretty sure. I know it exists. I know they're starting a season of it. I'm not sure if it's Tyra Banks America's Next Top Model, or if they kind of like rebranded, like, okay, we're gonna call it NBC's Next Top Model, so that way we don't have to do all this.
Well, that's terrifying.
That is absolutely terrifying.
No, nobody needs more of America's Next Top Model. America's Next Top Model is trash. Young me shouldn't have been watching it. I'm gonna need your help hooking up that camera because I can't figure out how to get it to feed into the laptop.
Okay, cool. I know we still have the HDMI USB port thing, so we might need that, but, you know, we'll figure it out.
Because I need to do this hate watch of America's Next Top Model really bad.
Why would
Because it's so bad. Like, I did not watch America's Next Top Model as like a young girl. It wasn't what I was into. Like, at the time I was watching, like, I don't know, Malcolm in the Middle. So it's just something that like girls my age were watching at the time, and I just did not. Your friend is so helpful and cute. That friend is my husband. I'm fucking him. But but I didn't watch it. People say you're cute. Oh, he's gone, I guess. Yeah, I didn't watch it when I was younger, and then something possessed me to watch it. I think it's because I went through all of RuPaul's Drag Race on Hulu, and had an emotional roller coaster over time. And RuPaul's Drag Race, on the other hand, is quite inspirational and, like, honestly, pretty uplifting for me. And I love it. And actually, I kind of want to do a rewatch. Yeah, it fucking, whew, it really, it was just so great for me. Like, just watching it, just putting it on in the background. I just like, just felt bad, you know. And eventually, like, my husband got into it, and he was just like, yeah, it became a thing. So I finished it on Hulu, and then I guess Hulu did the thing where it was like, if you liked RuPaul's Drag Race, maybe you'll like America's Next Top Model. And I believed them. And I watched it. And I was like, season 1. Let's go from the jump. And when I tell you, I was shocked. when I tell you that I was shook to my core within probably the first few minutes of the first episode, which season 1, episode 1. Season 1, episode 1. So fucking bad. Like all the problematic things that you could possibly imagine in the first 3 episodes of one show. It was insane. It was painful. It was painful. The body shaming, the colorism, the racism, just everything you can imagine.
Mr. Sandberg, thanks for coming to your performance review.
I still ain't forgive Tyra for making that girl shave a gap in her teeth. I haven't gotten there yet. I am having, once I get this camera hooked up, I'm gonna have people on Instagram tell me, like, I did a little question and answer thing on my story, like, give me your favorite problematic episodes of America's Next Top Model, and we're gonna watch them together on Twitch. I will be watching it for the very first time, mind you. Because I haven't seen them. I've only heard of these things. And I didn't get any like me watching that episode, like those episodes like maybe 2 months ago is like the first time that I was like, is this a real show? Like, is this a real show? I'm like, I'm glad I didn't watch it as a kid, when I was younger, because first of all, my self-esteem issues were bad enough. They were bad enough at the time, without, wanting to be a model. At the time, my dad was pushing me to be a Disney kid, so I already had that going. But I'm like, oh my god, if I watched this when I was like, 13, I would, I would have been destroyed. He was trying to get me on the Disney Channel, and he was like trying to make me the next Beyonce and shit. Like, that's what my dad was trying to Matthew Knowles me. That's what was happening at the time. So I had enough problems. Salutes from Spain. Hey, you two. Yeah, no, had me shook. The way they bullied. Okay, the way they had 2 black girls in the first, that first setup of models, the way that they had the fucking 2 black girls, 1 light-skinned, 1 very, very dark-skinned, the way they bullied the dark-skinned girl, the way the light-skinned girl, like, definitely bought into the colorism and acted like she was better than this other woman, but also the light-skinned black woman was the plus-sized woman who was probably I'm a small girl, and she had less body fat than me, and they're trying to get her to lose weight. And then they're making fun of it. And then, like, they bullied the black girl. Like, the unambiguously black girl. They bullied her so badly. Like, because the judges, the photographers, they're like, you need to work on your skin texture or some shit. Like, something that she literally could not help. Like, you need to work on your skin texture. Like, they bullied her relentlessly. And so she started moisturizing her skin like crazy. And then all the other girls were making fun of her. Because, like, she's so greasy. And she, like, gets grease everywhere. And blah, 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 blah. They call you plus size if you weigh like 150. No, this woman did not even weigh 150. This woman was like 5'10", 130, I swear. Like, and that's skinny. Like, she looked skinny, but she looked healthy. You know what I mean? Like, but she still looked skinny. She looked like a goddamn Bond girl, and they're like, you gotta lose weight. And I was like, if I were on this show, I would be plus sized. I'd be plus sized because I am 125 pounds and 5'4". So by their standards, I'm overweight. I'd be plus size. They would be calling me fat and then telling me to lose weight. Which is also damaging to actual plus size models or like plus size women, because it just shifts your entire like perspective on like what plus sized is. And so you got women that don't need to, that have a, you know, okay, like fat percentage, losing incredible amounts of weight to the point that they're fucking like just not healthy. Not healthy. Like straight like straight skeletons, man. Like, yeah, no, America's Next Top Model was but it was just like, it was awful. It was really, really, really awful. But now I'm gonna hate watch it. But now I'm ready. I feel like I'm at a place mentally where I can hate watch this shit. The industry itself at the time was worse. It was worse, and it's still bad. Like it's not that much better, but it's really fucking bad. It's really, really fucking bad. But we have to refuse to play the toxic game and accept all bodies. Yeah, man. I mean, look, as long as you are healthy, then your body is okay. If you're healthy, then your body is okay. Like, it's really that simple. God forbid, models mirror what actual people on the street look like. The people that are gonna buy your fucking clothes. God forbid. That'd be crazy. That's crazy talk. The way Tyra was treating those girls, I'm like, you obviously, you obviously just had a bad time in the industry, Tyra. And I'm very sorry that you did, but now you're taking it out on these fucking girls. Like, it's very, very obvious. Like, you're being complete Regina George right now. And let me tell you guys, like, you know how quickly, you know what really pisses me off? Like, when I started becoming, like, when my followership started going up, immediately, guys, do you know how quickly it took for the diet tea companies to start sending me messages? I'm talking like the teas that the Kardashians hawk. Like, it did not take long for them to find me, and they were like, we want you to be, want us to hawk our stuff. Yeah, the flat tummy tea, that shit. And I was just like, hi, lose my number. Lose my number, because, like, one or two things wrong with that shit. One, it's a scam. It's just tea. If you want, like, it's just tea. It's literally just tea. You can go down to the bodega and buy tea, and it's going to be the same quality as this tea. And it's laxative tea, and it's just gonna make you shit. That's it. Which clearing out your system is part of maintaining a healthy body, but it's not gonna. That alone doesn't inherently make you lose weight. Number two, using laxatives like that literally is a symptom of having an eating disorder. Literally. Which I didn't know until like this year, and in hindsight, again, looking back, I realized that I may have had one of those, because I was like 123 thinking that I needed to lose weight, and like when I was still in the Air Force, before I got medicated, and I was definitely abusing laxatives. And so like looking back, I was like, oh my god, I think I had that shit. I think I had a thing. That's number two. Number three, I'm already skinny. If let's say that there was some bizarro world in which this was a legitimate weight loss solution, let's just say it was in some alternate universe. Well, while serving, do you think it was pressure from the military or higher ups? Yeah, and I think it was like stress from the trauma. Yeah, eating disorder can be a way to control and used to deal with trauma. Yeah, and I had just gotten off of all that shit in the Air Force. That bitch had finally left, and I think that it was a in hindsight, I think it probably was a way to gain control after a very traumatic thing. Which is like in hindsight, and that was like what 4 or 5 years ago. And the military does have crazy standards for like waist measurement and stuff, and like the military actually can contribute to a lot of that bullshit too. But anyway, like in some alternate universe where this is actually a weight loss method that works, wouldn't it be dishonest to come to a person who is already an after picture? Isn't it really fucking dishonest to try and get someone that's literally already an after picture that never used your product before, and then claim to your masses that by using your product you can make them look like me? Like, isn't that isn't that really fucking dishonest? Like, I didn't use your products to lose weight, but I'm already an after picture that didn't use your product at all, and so you want me to walk around hawking this shit? I haven't used it. Like, and I know they don't care about you. Like, I know, like, they're inherently dishonest, but to me, I'm like, that's a whole new level of bullshit. I feel like that's straight up fraud. Yeah, I feel like that's fucking fraud. I feel like it's fucking fraud. I'm just like, no. Yeah, just absolutely no. So, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that was last year. And I tell you, like, sometimes I get a little sometimes I do get a little conscious when I take like dance classes and stuff. Taking dance classes sometimes is a great way to activate your body insecurity, especially in like ballet classes. Don't take a ballet class. Um, or take a ballet class. Just make sure that, you know, your body is okay. Just because it doesn't look like all the other girls does not mean that your body is wrong. Because I have a little more cushion. I'm a martial artist. I'm a dancer, but I'm also a martial artist. You cannot you can't have a fat content of 0 and be a martial artist. Like, you can have a pretty fucking low one. You can have a pretty fucking low fat content as a martial artist, but like you can't be wayfish and a martial artist and be able to stand. Like, martial art, it's fucking hard. Fighting is hard, and you need to have enough fuel behind that shit to be able to fight. And some of that fuel comes from fat, you know. What fighting style, if you don't mind my asking? Taekwondo. I'm going for my blue stripe this month, so wish me luck. Got bags, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I like martial arts. Gives you muscle too, and that muscle weighs more than fat a lot of the time. Yeah, sometimes I'll get on the. Sorry, significant other had feelings about this that needed sharing. Guys hate the injury and damage too. Yeah, they don't talk about black belt in karate. That's amazing. Oh my god. Let's get together and tussle. No, seriously, like we don't I don't think we don't really talk about, you know, the guy's side of like eating disorders and body image either, because like I've had friends that do bodybuilding, male friends, and red belt in jiu-jitsu, dope. And the eating habits of some of the people I know that have done like competitions like that were questionable, like very questionable, and it would go from like it's like I'm not a professional, but it did go from like extreme not eating to extreme binging, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson binge days. And I was just like, I feel like this is a normalized male version of possibly an eating disorder. Like, you know, I'm just like, this doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel great. And like, and you know, Nikki, thanks to your rants, I was able to improve my English, and now I'm officially C2. Thank you so much, Queen. I don't know how that helped, but I'm glad it did. I'm glad. No, but like, even like the fucking like the way that like MCU actors get ready for roles and stuff, like you know, Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and all them shits. I'm like, Marvel bodies are not normal bodies. Like, having that little fat content is literally only for aesthetics. Um, and in those spaces between those movies, you see those actors like they will put on a little more fat, and like they look fucking fine. They look fucking fine, but they literally have to starve and dehydrate for that look. Like, when I tell you that I had guy friends that were like, I can't drink water for a day or two of shit, or like, I'm probably exaggerating, but like, when they're like, I can't drink water because I might bloat before this show, I'm like, are you serious? Like, have you seen Chris Pratt before his role? Yeah, like, he big change before Parks and Rec and Guardians of the Galaxy. Huge. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, if I ever had to do that, at least what's helped for me, because I have been smaller than this in my actual adult life. Like, when I was on tour with Air Force Entertainment, I was down to like 115. But I wasn't like not eating. I was just working extremely hard, and dancing a whole fucking lot, like more than normal. Like, you'll hear like artists like Beyonce and all, like, when you're on tour, like, you're getting like, getting in shape for a show, like, your body is in a shape that it literally cannot ever be at every other time of the year. Like, it like literally impossible. So like, I was down to like 115, and then when I got off of tour, of course I wasn't 115 anymore, and so I thought that there was something wrong with me, and I wish that someone had told me, like, hey, like, when you get off of tour, you're gonna gain a little more weight because you're not dancing every single day, and you're not building a set every day and loading a truck. And so you're not gonna be you probably won't be 115, maybe 120, maybe you can finesse 120. That I know, I can finesse a 120, 121, 122, 123. But you're not going to be 115. And I thought because I couldn't get lower than 120 that there was, like, I thought I was too big, which is insane. So what's helpful for me is I keep a weight range instead of a goal weight. I just keep for myself at least, I just keep a range. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm like, for me, like, healthy is in the 120s range, and I can also get away with 130s. Like, 130s is still considered healthy for me. Maybe for my frame, maybe a little heavier. So once I go over 130, I'm like, maybe I need to lift weights a little bit more or something. But I have weight ranges, not one goal weight. Because if you have one goal weight, for me at least, if I have one goal weight, I will, like, anytime anytime like I am like, I veer away from that number, whether it goes down or it goes up, like, it's kind of like watching your stats on TikTok as a creator, which is something I don't do. And those apps are really great. Like, for creators, they're really, really good at reminding you every time you open the fucking app how you're not doing enough, or how you're doing so much better than you were last week. Like, you have so many more views this week than you did last week, or you went down a few million views, and completely not registering in your head. I'm like, you're still having like a few million views, several million views a month. Like, that's still very good. you know, like extremely good. But the constant comparison, what app is this we talking about? We're talking about TikTok, we're talking about YouTube, we're talking about like literally any app. And then they introduced more, and I think they introduced stats on Instagram like yesterday. And I was like, no. It just popped up. I saw it just popped up on Instagram. I was like, Instagram creators, review your, you can, you know, have a creator dashboard. And I'm like, no, I won't do it. I won't fucking do it. That's what it's fucking like for me. That's like same energy. Having one fucking goal weight, and like looking at the creator dashboard and like analyzing every single little fucking, you know, dip down or spike up. And then the thing is, like, especially if like you're mentally ill, your happiness will become dependent on those numbers, you know. So if it goes up, yeah, and a friend of mine said that he was like, you know, you can't keep living, you can't live your life on these extreme highs and lows, because you'll just become unstable. And I was like, damn, you're right, because when things are doing well, your mood goes up, because you're just like, oh, this gratification, you know. And then when it does not so great, then your mood follows that trajectory. Same with your fucking weight. If I focus on one fucking number, like if it was like 120 or whatever, and it drops down to 115, I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing so well, and then my mood goes up. Or I gain 5 pounds, which you can do in literally a day by drinking water. I'm gonna claim an eating disorder at the VA. Honestly, if I knew better, I would have claimed an eating disorder for my VA disability, if we're being honest. I should have, but I literally didn't know until this year that I probably had one. Not service connected, right. Yeah, so yeah, weight does fluctuate as well. Once I gain a pound in a week, LOL. LOL, you can gain 5 pounds in a fucking day. Like, you can gain 5 pounds overnight. Like, that's insane. So honestly, I keep a waist measurement. Waist measurements for me are like way better and way more consistent. And it's not the scale. I try not to get on the scale. But yeah, just little things that you have to. These are all things that I'm very sensitive to because of, you know, depression and anxiety that, I don't know, maybe other people don't think about. Maybe other people don't really think about. So, but I have to be very vigilant because, like I said, all it takes is one thing. All it takes is one little thing, and so I can't. Your industry also keeps at the forefront of your mind. Oh yeah. I just filed a claim. Any advice? Bruh. Stay on them. Keep updating. And make sure that you claim every single little thing. Do you use waist beads as a weight guide? Yes, I do. I do use waist beads as a weight guide. It helps a lot. It really does help a lot. Yeah, waist beads really do. They do help me a lot. Yeah, no, make sure you have a VSO helping you. I didn't have a VSO for some reason. Like, my base was like, we don't allow you to have a VSO or some bullshit like that. Make sure you claim every single thing. I claimed everything. Where did you buy the beads from? Fit Beads. It is a black-owned business. If you buy waist beads, make sure that you buy from a black-owned business. Yeah, get all your medical records in a paper form. Get a paper form and on a disc. I have a book of my entire medical history. Thank you for muting that person. I have a book of medical record, a book of my fucking medical records. And you can look from the day that I entered the Air Force, in processing day into the Air Force Academy, to the day that I fucking left. And you fucking document everything. A paper cut, pink eye, if you had a cold, if you got a splinter, if you sprained your wrist, all of this shit, all of that, you claim everything. Everything, and you claim everything, and then you upload the motherfucking document of that doctor's appointment to every single injury. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too small. Absolutely nothing. Don't let them slip on anything. Nothing is too small. Claim everything, because the last thing that they want to do is give you money. They don't want to give you money. They don't want to pay you disability. Seriously. So claim everything. Everything. That's my advice. That's my advice. And just keep on following up with them. Oh, the day of your exam, you're feeling the worst ever. 10 out of 10 pain. Yep. Honestly, and don't feel bad about playing that shit up, because they play that shit up. I don't give a fuck. Win an Oscar if you have to. I don't give a fuck, because they were okay using your body for whatever the fuck they wanted while you were in. The least they could do is pay you for the damage they've done. That's the least they could do. So, that's my advice. Don't let them slip. Don't say you're feeling better some days. Nah, you hurt every minute, every minute, every day. every minute of every day. Because if you show it's really fucked up. And this is a problem, like, with disabled people being able to get help with disability, is that we are off because of shit like this. We're often very afraid of not seeming disabled enough to get help or to need help when we do need help. And the truth is, with a lot of disabilities, including, like, especially like invisible ones, like, some days are much better than others, and some days are really bad, but the really bad days are really, really bad. And so very often it's like, I don't know, it's really, really fun. I was denied disability and Social Security when I legit was in a wheelchair. Yeah. No, I believe that. So claim every single thing. Nothing is too petty. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too small. And if you're still in the military, make sure, especially for, like, get everything diagnosed. Especially if it's for mental health. If you think that you have PTSD or anything, go get diagnosed off base, not by a military doctor. Go get diagnosed by a psychiatrist off base and let them tell you what the fuck it is. And then you take that shit, have them print out the fucking results and everything, and you take that and you slap that down in the records too, and you link that fucking paperwork to whatever they diagnosed you with. Whatever they did. Because military will do that bullshit of, like, just giving you, like, oh, general anxiety and disorder, or they'll diagnose you with adjustment disorder. instead of PTSD. Because they don't want to they don't want to have to pay you for, they don't want to have to pay you for PTSD. There. I know. So, sunflower, the sunflower. That's my motherfucking advice. I'll do that. A reason to go. So, anything else? It's 10:42. I don't have too much to do today. I think I don't have too much to do today until I get off of here and realize I have everything to do. Thoughts about going into acting? Acting is fun. I love acting. But it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, and it can be a little intimidating. But try to get involved in like community theater and stuff. That can be easier than you think. You can get a nice little paycheck for it, and you can get some experience. And don't be afraid to start with small roles that aren't leads, and don't get discouraged when you get like smaller side roles. Those are actually really good to start off with. So, yeah, community theater. Any advice for fat guys? What? I don't know what that means at all. Yeah, so, yeah. Inuyasha, of course. The favorite. Welcome back to I had to get did you see the new My Hero movie? Yes, I did. As soon as I could. That 2 a.m. music, I know. I got some Black and Milds for my Smoking Out the Window music video. And because I didn't have time to fucking get prop cigarettes like they're definitely using in the music video. And I tell you what, it's very hard to sing and smoke at the same time. I don't know how motherfuckers did that shit, like Sinatra and all these motherfuckers with a goddamn glass of scotch and a cigar. Like how did you do that? And I'm a soprano, so I can't fucking do that shit. Did not like the way that shit felt at all. That was uncomfortable. Had to do it for the aesthetic. And that's it. My mom knew people that ate and smoked. Pure determination. That's why they sang so slow in the 50s. Yeah, probably. That's why they only wrote songs with like 5 notes, because you can't jump an octave and be smoking a fucking and be smoking a whole fucking cigar, you crazy ass. That's crazy. You can't be no soprano and do that shit. That's reckless abandonment there. Well, let me fix this eyeliner before I go out into the world. Hold on. It's a warrior. Yeah, I'd have goddamn cough drops after smoking a fucking Black and Mild and singing at the same time. Did you see see Big Bird is running for Senate in Texas to oust Ted Cruz. What a time to be alive. Big Bird running for senator to out Ted Cruz. You know, you know what? That's sure, Big Bird would do a better job. Big Bird would do a better job. It's so crazy, it just might work. Kermit makes more sense though. I'd vote for Kermit before I vote for Big Bird. That's for sure. Why is the world like this? What? The way that man tried to sneak out of Texas during that snow. If you haven't noticed, I've been a lot more quiet about being a native Texan than normal. Lot more quiet about being Texan. Haven't we all? I'll rep H-Town. I'm like, oh, Houston. But I'm like Texas. I'm like Houston. And fuck no. And even Houston, man. And even Houston has been ground zero for some ghetto shit. Like, there's powerful niggatry here. Like, straight craziness. Like, Houston is, even Houston, like, that's not much better. That's not much better. Texas? Nah, I only know Dallas. And this is not helping with our rivalry with Dallas either. I'm like, Houston can't, like, we can't talk shit on Dallas and then be ground zero for all sorts of ghetto shit. Like, first the doctor walkouts, and then the abortion shit, and now Travis Scott, Houston homeboy Travis Scott. I'm like, Travis Scott is about to single-handedly destroy Houston's entire rep. Bruh, not Travis. He's making it hard. He's making it hard for me to keep on pitching Houston to people as a place to live. Because Houston is really cheap. Houston hoping Meg will bring them back. Meg or Beyonce, somebody please. I made a video about this and I got reported for hate speech, and I appealed it and it went back up. Oh, Beyonce, where your boss at? I talk about Houston and Beyonce comes up. Powers. Yeah, they're making it really hard for me to pitch Houston as a place to live, because I'm like, it's really cheap and the cost of living is very low. It is very diverse, lots of food, and if you just overlook the fact that it's becoming, or is now, Trump country in some sense, or there's pockets of Trump land in there, then yeah, Houston is a great place to live. It's just, Houston is looking real ghetto, man. Not in the good way. Everybody mad. Texas is the worst place in Florida. Now hold on though. Now hold on though. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy. Alright. Florida's still Florida. We're not gonna pretend we're not gonna do that. Then bounce right back, get the money. Now hold on there, partner. We're not gonna do that shit. Yee. Have you ever met Thomas Sanders? He lives in Florida. No, but I would love to, because I'm a huge Thomas Sanders fan. You know. Which state you boosted? I'm trying to move. I got nothing. I got nothing. I would pitch California, but it's expensive. I can't pitch where the fuck I am now because it's expensive, and Jersey is like the most population dense state in the union. And I used to boost Texas, but more specifically Houston. But even with all the valid arguments that I could have that Houston is a pretty good place to live, I would not. I would understand if no one believed me, and so it's not even. It's not even. Texas doesn't have an income tax. So there's that. So there's that. Yeah, I don't really know. You know what's a surprisingly good, like, you know what's a surprisingly cool city that I did not expect to be nice? Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha. Seattle is good, I guess. Yeah, maybe Seattle. I don't know. I haven't been there since I was a kid, so I can't really say. Yeah, Omaha is a really nice city. Believe it or not. I live in Omaha. See? Omaha is pretty nice. Not gonna lie. It surprised me. Kansas City, Missouri. I've been to Kansas City, not bad. It's cheap in Omaha. Okay, so maybe we're hyping up Omaha, Nebraska. Most random ass fucking place. Like, I'm living on minimum wage here, so, And you're what, in Kansas City? Is that where you're at? No, you're in Madera, California. Interesting. And again, I could hype up Georgia. I could hype up Atlanta. Atlanta's not bad. Atlanta's not bad. You just have to deal with the fact that you live in Georgia, where Colorado. That's right. I did live in Colorado. Colorado's not bad either. Colorado's a nice place to live. I never had to buy an apartment in Colorado, but I don't think it's really that. I don't think it's really that expensive. And if you're okay being away from the ocean, which I'm not, I don't like being away from. What about the Dakotas? What about the Dakotas? What about the Dakotas? You want to freeze? like the cold? You like snow? You like negative 70 degrees? 70 below zero? You like that? You like that? Dakotas. You want that? If so, be my guest. It's where the Dakotas, where it gets too cold to snow. Those aren't real states. It gets too cold to snow in the Dakotas. Cries in Minnesota. Yeah, you know. Go to Russia. Yeah, you might as well just... Yeah, why don't you just move to Russia? Why don't you move to Siberia? I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know that was possible until I lived in North Dakota. It's too cold in Colorado, honestly. It is cold in Colorado, but at least you got shit to look at. At least you can go to Breckenridge or Vail or Keystone and go skiing and do white people shit like that. That's fun. You can do that. You like mountains? You like trees and nature and shit? Colorado, pretty nice. You know, I just visited Colorado. And I was like, if you can deal with the altitude and shit, could be nice. Could be nice. So, you know, there's that. I've only lived in 4 states: Texas, Colorado, North Dakota, and technically New Jersey. I say that I'm in the New York City area because it sounds better. Sorry, it does. And I am not from this area, so I don't care when people from this area are like, you're not from New York City. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. As an actor, on my bio, I'm putting New York City. I'm not putting Jersey City. Sorry. I'm gonna lie. It's only a white lie because I'm 5 minutes from the Holland Tunnel, so I can be from New York very quickly. I could be there like really quick. Just a trip over the Hudson. Come on, it's like 0.6 miles. Like the Hudson is like 0.6 miles long. I could swim that in like 30 minutes. Or at least I could in my Air Force Academy days. But no, I lie. I'm like, no, I'm in New York City. You are? Yeah, technically. Speaking of white people shit, did you see my Stitch video about what to do with the corks? Honey, do you know how many white women have duetted and stitched that video telling me what to do with their corks? And there are so many. And I didn't know that there were so many things to do with corks. But I think what I'm going to do, the most useful thing, is that I'm just going to take them to a local bar because apparently there's a cork shortage, the whites have told me. And so they recycle corks. So I'm going to take them there. This song is underrated. I agree. Actually, I did a cover of this song and I need to post it on YouTube today. I need to post it on YouTube today. And possibly TikTok. Don't touch that river. You'll come out with gills. The Hudson's gross. Love your content, though I don't understand the Batman hate. I've been saying bye for a long time. Okay, let me end on. Maybe this will be the last thing I talk about because we went on a fucking tangent as Southern people do. Why I don't care for Batman. Besides just the superficial reason that Bruce Wayne does not have a personality at all. and the fact that all Batman media has been completely based on his angst and like just the drama of Batman, you know, just like the darkness, the drama, just very emo shit. He's a billionaire crybaby. Now this might sound really bad, but as far as comic book, zodiac sign Leo. As far as comic book characters, Bruce Wayne acts like he's the only motherfucker on the planet that's ever gone through trauma. And I can't stand it. Because everything he does is about his childhood trauma of his father and mother dying, which I get it. That shit sucks. But bro, go to therapy. Don't fucking like you literally go through absolutely no processing of that shit. And instead, even though you have enough money to fix all the problems in Gotham, instead you choose to dress up as a vigilante and beat the shit out of, honestly, a lot of mentally ill people of Gotham. And what tells me, and one of the things that tells me that you ain't really about the superhero life and that you're literally only doing this for your own ego is the fact that you will not murk the Joker. Like, they're like, and I know it, like, it, okay, there's a lot of iterations of Batman, comics, cartoons, the Dark Knight series, the movies, but the one example that I'm gonna use is Under the Red Hood animated movie, where Jason goes the fuck off on him. Because he will not murk the Joker, and in this storyline, the Joker, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Under the Red Hood, which is a really good movie and you should watch it, I think you can get it on Amazon. It's very good. Because the Joker, at this point has assumedly killed Jason. And even after that, like, Bruce again lets him go into jail, and just as he does, just keeps on escaping. I don't even know, they didn't even catch him, I don't think, in this movie. He just keeps on escaping. Like, some villains are too dangerous to leave alive, but you keep him alive because you need him. Just like Lego Batman, it's literally Lego Batman. You guys need each other to feed each other's ego and keep playing this cat and mouse game where people keep on getting killed in the process. And he keeps on saying this shit of like, if I kill him, if I cross that line, I'll never go back. Then why did you sign up for this superhero life, Bruce? Why did you sign up for that life? Now, you guys know that I'm not about the military after I served in the military. But when you go into the military, you go in with the expectation with, I might get killed and I might have to murk somebody. Take away the fact that the morality and shit of it. You go into a job like that with the expectation of, like, to protect myself and others, I might have to murk somebody. It is not ideal. It's really, it's really, really awful, but I'm gonna have to do it. And I am going to have to fucking process this somehow. Do what it takes to get the fucking job done. You signed up for this life, Bruce. You signed up for this superhero life. You signed up to put yourself on the line for the people of Gotham, but you won't do what the fuck needs to be done because you want to keep your fucking antiquated sense of morality, like Jason fucking says in the movie. It's all for your ego. It's all for your ego. It has nothing to do with helping people. Stop pretending like it has anything to do with helping people. That's my problem with Bruce. That's my problem with Batman. You know, it has to be said, and it was said. Like, you know, Superman has killed before, and every other hero has. Right. Like some people, it's like some villains are too dangerous to be left alive. And you know that. You're not stupid, but you keep the Joker alive because you need him to feed your fucking... I agree with you, but their whole story is entertaining. Yeah, but you need him to keep on feeding your ego. It's not about protecting the people of Gotham. Your Nick Talks episode about Red Hood was awesome. I do have a podcast episode of it. The title of it is Jason Todd Was Right. And like there really are some very fundamental real reasons why I prefer Tony Stark to Bruce Wayne all day. Besides the fact that I'm a blind Marvel follower. Never want to be that. Never want to be blindly, but like to a certain extent, sometimes I'm a blind Marvel follower. But I never really want to be a toxic Marvel fan. So I have reasoning for why I don't really care for him. Because Tony is fucked up. We know this. But at least, first of all, at least we get some personality from Tony. At least we get some fucking character development, and we see him addressing the trauma that happened to him. We see him trying to process, you know, what happened to him. Tony is another rich orphan that lost he lost his parents too, and he lost his parents at an older age. Which it can be argued that when, like, the trauma that you go through as a child, sometimes you can be a little more resilient, and it's a fact that the older that you get, the less resilient that you get. Not comparing traumas at all, which you should never do, but I'm just saying, like, if there ever was a billionaire that it made sense that he would use being a vigilante to process trauma that happened to him, it would be Tony. But he doesn't. It's also great how self-aware Tony Stark is. Tony is a piece of shit a lot of time, but you can't tell me that he's not self-aware. And what's interesting, in the movies at least, not the comics, yeah, and there's you know differences between the comics and the movies and all that, of course. But yeah, and his last words with his family were bad ones. Yeah, they were. But you really like it. And if you watch these movies as often as I do, you see him become very sensitive to people's feelings. Because of how he's fucked up. You can see how it's impacted him in the way that he starts interacting with people. And it's very very subtle, but you can see it. Like I remember like the end of Age of Ultron when Tony is leaving and him and Cap are talking. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to take a break and whatever." And he looks at Steve for a minute. He's like, "Are you okay?" If you watch these movies, after like Iron Man 3, you'll see these little moments where Tony checks in with people. And they're easy to miss, especially if you're dead set on hating him. But they are easy to miss. There's these little moments where he starts checking in on people because he realizes how fucked up he is. You know, he checks on Steve and he's like, "Are you okay?" And then, you know, the whole thing with Peter, you know, every time Peter fucks up, Tony's just like, I'm trying to make sure you don't turn out like fucking me. Okay, man? Infinity War. When Bruce can't get it up, like when Bruce can't get the Hulk to come out in the very beginning, and briefly after Tony like makes fun of him, he's like, "Why don't you sit this one out? It's okay." And he like pats him on the back or something. He's like, "It's okay. Why don't you sit this one out?" Also in Infinity War, when they almost got the gauntlet off, and a lot of people talk about this one, when they almost got the gauntlet off, and Peter Quill realizes what happened to Gamora, Tony clocks what's going on immediately before anyone else does, and is like, "Peter," he's like, "Quill, don't, Quill." he's like because he's been there, because he was there, because he's been there when he learned that Bucky killed his parents. He's like, "I went postal too. I went postal when I learned what happened to the people that I loved." He knew what was about to fucking happen. Yeah, the Quill, you gotta cool it right now. Before Quill even does anything, Quill is like still stone faced, and Tony is yelling at him. He's like, "We almost got it off." Like no one else is realizing what's going on with Quill, but Tony fucking does. It's like, fuck. Fuck. And another small moment, and everyone pays attention to how devastated he was about Peter, and so there's also that. But another small moment is near the end of Endgame, where they have the new gauntlet, Tony's gauntlet, that he builds, and they're trying to decide who puts it on. And Thor is like, "Please let me do it. Like, please let me do one thing right." And Tony, even though Tony was definitely making fun of him earlier, is like, "Bro, you're in no shape to do it. You're in no shape to do it." Not talking about necessarily his physical shape, but up here. He was like, the beginning of Endgame as well, yes. With Nebula. Yeah, he saw Thor coming for that gauntlet. He was like, "Bro, you are not you're not in any shape to do this." The beginning of Endgame with Nebula playing with the paper football, and just like, yeah, just the way that he interacts with her, even though she's a grown woman, like she's on the inside a traumatized girl that's been abused by her father and who's like never enough. Sound familiar though? Tony's been there. And so just like the way that he interacts with Nebula, and just the little action of her winning a game of paper football, he's like, "You won, good job, congratulations," and shakes her hand, like, just like the gentle way he interacts with her, Like I said, if you can't tell, Tony is her favorite. Tony is my favorite because personality-wise, I relate to him a lot, and just those, and because I have a very hard exterior. Nebula, positive interaction. Like, definitely, and I'm a very tsundere person, and so when I see these little moments that he starts changing after, realizing he's an asshole in more ways than one, just realizing the legacy of Stark Industries completely, and then just being like, "Well, we're not gonna be a weapons contractor anymore. We're just not gonna do that." Lockheed Martin could never. And yeah, the conversation between Tony and Steve in Endgame. Which one? The beginning where he yells at him? Which one? But yeah, just seeing little moments where where you see him just getting more and more emotionally aware and emotionally intelligent, I really, really appreciate. Which is why I like him better than Batman. And also notice that before Tony died, he made sure that everyone that he loved in his life was completely taken care of. We know about Peter, but Pepper got a suit, and Rhodey got a suit. He made sure like all the most important people in his life were taken care of. You know. So everybody getting suits, yeah. So and you know, and just, you know, I don't know, I find it haunting and sad that he did record that message before dying. He recorded that hologram. Because, you know, he knew, and he was, you know, he was ready. He was ready to go. He was ready to go before they even started. He was ready to go before they even went on the time heist, and that's something to think about. That's something to think about, because we're watching all this at the end of Endgame, but Tony is living in this the entire movie of being ready to go. Ugh. So there's there, it's just my opinion. I think his death was unnecessary. Well, you got to think about, like, it's not just about the cinematic universe too, because a lot of actors want to do other things. Oh my god, I'm living for this Tony Stark analysis, or I can go out. I did a Bruce one, and now I'm doing a Tony one. You know, sometimes, you know, actors want to do other things as much as, you know, Robert loves Tony Stark. I'm sure he wanted to do other things too, and you can only really keep actors on contract for so long, and sometimes you just got to know when to move on. And honestly, like, hot take, characters dying makes them more special. There's a theory out there that Doctor Strange killed him on purpose. I made a skit making fun of that, like, last year. I'm like, yeah, he says, like, jury's still out, because I'm like, he says that there was only one scenario or one future in which they win, but how do we know? Like, but how do we know? Maybe they're like just the rule of, just like in the rule of big numbers, any stats people hear, you know, just in a big number like 14,605,000, there's bound to be at least a few hundred. You know what I mean? Like, there's bound to be at least a few hundred. Which I think is what I put in my skit. And he was like, yeah, there's at least a few hundred that are like, you know. But it's very possible. But it's very possible that Stephen Strange looked at all of them and he was like, but you know what? Like, but you know what? This nigga needs to go to sleep. There's a big possibility that Strange was like, the only way Tony is gonna take a nappy nap is if he dies. And we'll never know. We'll never know, will we? It's a possibility. Tony stressed about too much. She needed a permanent solution. Yeah. Just a few minutes of interacting with him, he was like, well, he's gotta die. He's gonna die. Just, yeah. After this song, I will go. I'm leaving for real. After this song. My lungs. Next time I'll do a breakdown of some My Hero characters, like my favorites, Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. The trauma triplets. I never thought about how much mental stress these heroes go through. That's why I like the MCU so much, I think, because they do address trauma and processing trauma, really, and you don't really have to look very hard, but they do it so well in ways that other superhero movies don't. And as somebody with PTSD, I appreciate Marvel content more than I do DC. I just do, you know. Not the trauma triplets. Steven Universe did that really well too. Oh, yeah, nobody did it like Steven Universe. Steven Universe. If you can't afford therapy, I'm not a medical professional. If you can't afford therapy, Steven Universe might be an affordable temporary band-aid, or it'll rip you open. So there's that. I feel they could have approached Thor's weight gain better. Okay, God, one last thing. At the time that I saw Endgame, I had also gained a lot of weight from depression. And I kind of didn't. I appreciated the kind of the way that they framed it, honestly. I actually, like, honestly, at the time, it was definitely something that I needed. That's the reason I got this tattoo. And a lot of people didn't like that. But I did. I was like, no, this is real. This is real. Depression, you gain weight, you drink a lot and everything. Don't get me wrong, like, it was hilarious, but at the same time, trauma weight is a real concept. I'm telling you that I know because I had trauma weight. I had it, and that, like I said, that's real. You get depression, you can gain weight, you start, you start drinking a lot, and Thor definitely had, like, full-on PTSD though, and depression comes with it. Emotional outbursts, like when he was yelling at the kid through the headset of the video game and whatnot. And also, speaking of crazy accurate moments of mental health, or like depicting it, when Bruce says Thanos' name and Thor just stops. Nuke Master 69, right? When Thor just stops and freezes and is like, don't say that name. And, like, just, it's a little too relatable for comfort. A little. The big three, Thor, Cap, and Tony, were different ways of dealing with PTSD. Very, very true. Alright, guys, well, I got stuff to do, and we've been on here for a while, and I'm surprised that my battery has not gone out. But I'll catch you guys later on the flip side. I'll catch you guys, I guess, next week on Wednesday. because that's when I stream, unless I have something going on. I don't. Nope. Business as usual. Yep, business as usual. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys streaming Wednesday, unless I decide to do it, you know, sporadically. Maybe I won't. Greetings from the mountains. Hey, Ren, I hope you're having fun on your vacation. X-Ray Mega Man, thank you so much for moderating. It was very, very helpful, blocking all the riff-raff, so thank you so much. I would love to have you mod again if you are willing. All right, and if you're on my Patreon, remember tonight is Writer's Room, which is where we brainstorm skit ideas. And so hopefully Patreon, if you're $20 and up, hopefully I will see you tonight, and then the meet and greet for Plus Ultra patrons is right afterwards. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna close out of YouTube first. Bye, YouTube people. Boop, boop, boop. Yes, I'm sure I want to stop streaming.